What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. Now, we've been rolling along here with E3, of course, this beginning of this week. Now we're kind of coming to a close because the week is finishing up. Obviously, tomorrow is the end of E3 pretty much completely. Everyone will be slowly filing out of there and heading home from California. And we'll be left with a lot of video game news, new announcements, a lot of stuff to look forward to. And of course, yesterday and today, there's been a lot of news coming out. So let's get started today. And the first bit of news today, guys, is a little more substance to this entire Switch and Xbox and PC crossplay with Minecraft. Well, according to the CEO of Mojang, it looks like you actually have to sign in with an Xbox Live account or sign in to play Minecraft crossplay on the Switch. And in an interview with Pressfire, the CEO of Mojang said this: "We're tying everything together with Xbox Live, so you log in with Xbox Live." He was also asked, really, even on the Nintendo Switch? And he responded, "Yes, that's pretty unique as well, but everyone that's in on this, all the platform holders, have been pretty pragmatic and understanding of what we're trying to do is create a good experience for the players. We needed a good system to connect everyone, and Xbox Live is a good system." So kind of reading that and looking at that, it kind of gives us an insight to maybe why Sony wasn't super excited to get Minecraft crossplay between PlayStation and Xbox because, well, if you think about it, Microsoft controls Minecraft, so they would make them have to sign in with Xbox Live, or at least a sign-in of some kind, email, password. You don't have to use like a Microsoft-specific email or anything. I've actually used Gmail, for example, to sign in on Xbox Live, so it's not that. It's just they probably don't want a portal window of some kind showing up and it says, you know, Microsoft account or whatnot on their system, even though, I mean, if you look at Minecraft, even the box art, it says Microsoft on the back, and even in the credits in the game while you're playing on the PS4, it says Microsoft. So it's odd, but maybe they just don't want their system talking to Xbox Live servers or Windows servers. And, you know, again, PlayStation doesn't have to do it, but what's really interesting is you will be signing in technically with an Xbox Live account on the Nintendo Switch to crossplay with Minecraft. And according to them, Nintendo has been very open about it. They are fine doing this. This does not bother Nintendo in the least, and it kind of brings up an interesting thought. And this is something that will not be the case for a long time. But let's say this works out well. Let's say Nintendo kind of looks at this and say, wow, the online service for that works well. And we're good at making systems, and Microsoft's good at their online service, Xbox Live, and people will pay them completely for a good service like this. What's to say that Microsoft, who, let's be realistic here, guys, they make a lot of their money on the online service, and I'm going to get a little out there for a second, but what if Microsoft, who does not like, they can't like spending that kind of money in R&D on a system that won't make them any money. In fact, it's come out that the Xbox One X makes them zero money. They're pretty much breaking completely even on that system. And the idea here is to keep their system in people's households, to keep their Xbox Live running, which does make them money. So why can't Microsoft eventually bow out of that, build games for their Windows platform, which is the big thing. They're selling us an OS now, guys. They're not selling us a game console. If you really consider it, they want us to get into their OS and then pay for things through that operating system. And then obviously licensing fees and everything's great too. But Xbox Live is their big money maker. That's where they make a lot of money. And Nintendo has never been good at online service, so maybe in the distant future, if their relationship keeps working as well as it is, because they seem to have no problems with crossplay for Rocket League either, maybe Microsoft handles the online service where Nintendo builds the games and the hardware. Would that be a bad thing, guys? Let me know down in the comments. That seems like an interesting future, doesn't it? Well, they're starting their relationship now, so who knows where this goes in the distant future. Next bit of news, guys, is that Ori will be creating a keyboard for the Nintendo Switch, currently in Japan only, from what we can tell. It's going to be coming out for about 3,000 or so yen, which translates to about $27. And looking at it, it looks like a pretty generic keyboard. Honestly, it looks like those really terrible keyboards you can get on Amazon. Now, I don't know if their button presses or anything are different, or it is those keyboards just with their names slapped on it, essentially. But they are bringing out a keyboard, and more than likely this is probably for Dragon Quest X because of the keyboard. You would probably use that for the online aspects for communicating or putting in commands. But it does show that there is at least accessories like these coming out now. Of course, most people, I think, at this point have hooked up their keyboard and found that it works with the operating system that for the Nintendo Switch, or if not, it's going to be working soon because the keyboard here is coming out soon. It's definitely going to be coming out for Dragon Quest X. I think that's the big thing, or any other MMOs coming up. But now that we see these accessories coming out, maybe they have some plans for some MMOs in the future. You know, it's hard to say. I mean, the Dreamcast got a keyboard, and really it was mostly for checking your email and playing Phantasy Star, but still, it was there. But it's very interesting to see. I don't know if this will ever be localized, at least not for the time being, because, I mean, we need a Dragon Quest X or a new MMO over here for that to even be needed, right? Well, we'll see if we ever get that localized and have that brought over. And the next bit of news, guys, is actually surrounding that Sega Forever, this weird thing going around the internet, which we've talked about, where the clues kind of added up to where Sega Forever seems to be something for mobile. So they'll be like giving you a library of games on your mobile devices with cloud storage for saves and everything, and just running well. And it looks like after today that seems to be the case, because they set out some promotional material to different people that included a cassette tape with popular soundtracks from different Sega games like Space Harrier and Phantasy Star, and on it said a few interesting things. This is according to SegaNerds.com. They said with the cassette tape, they got a note that said this: cassette tapes changed music forever. We're about to do the same with retro gaming and mobile. From Sega with love. So yeah, we don't know when we're going to find out full details of this. I was expecting something at E3 time, right? This seems like the time to show this, because everyone's like our eyes on gaming right now. I mean, technically they can release a press release anytime and it'll go viral. Everyone will cover it. It'll go out on the internet. But this seemed to be the time. They're at least kind of, I guess, still continuing the build up to this big announcement. But it looks like you'll be able to play a lot of Sega games, whether it's a service-based, let's just say like a Netflix, a games on demand service like that with Sega games, or maybe individual purchases. I think the idea is that everything will be tied to a single account, including your saved games, and maybe they get to a point where it can go across devices. All you do is log in, and then you play the game really from this app. Like, it could probably launch from the app, since, I mean, games are, what, a couple megabytes? That's nothing. And if it has to be online always, you might not even have to store the stuff on your phone. Maybe you touch it, it downloads it and caches it, and then you're just playing with your saved games downloaded with it. So that could be some interesting stuff. Just a thought, though. I just believe that's probably not the case. None of it will probably even be local until you hit play, and then it downloads it, and then you're off. And oh man, Monster Hunter World is, well, this is interesting, because everyone, really, depending on which side you're on, has had a different opinion on this game. I like the game because I think it's good for pretty much Capcom. It's good for the entire franchise. The only people that seem really frustrated with this announcement really are Nintendo fans, because it seems like Capcom is almost betraying Nintendo fans, right? Because one, this game looks like it's probably going to be the Monster Hunter game to get when it comes out. It's not going to be on the Switch. And it looks like this was the plan for Monster Hunter 5, according to a lot of sources. So according to this, the websites all over the place are translating, they're finding all this stuff, and then there are plenty that are native speaking in Japanese, for example, and then there are a lot of YouTubers who are also able to speak both languages and kind of coming out with all of these details. Dengeki seems to have the most information, and people like Gaijin Hunter and stuff have talked about this. It looks like it is in their mind, the creator's mind, this is it. This is the next Monster Hunter. It's not a spin-off at all. And they've been developing this for 4 years. And a lot of people are asking, well, why? Why are they going away from the 3DS and Nintendo? Well, one, they're technically not going away from Nintendo, because Monster Hunter Double Cross is being ported to the Switch, and it'll also be on the 3DS. But realistically, Capcom has to look to the future. If you're a company, you have to be forward-looking. You can't become friends with any one company. And guys, you should have expected this, because this isn't the first time Capcom has jumped ship from one company to another. In fact, guys, they did this very recently. In fact, they did it to Sony, jumping to Nintendo. If you go back and look, the best-selling Monster Hunter game is on the PSP. It's not even on the 3DS. The PSP sold Monster Hunter better than the 3DS has ever sold Monster Hunter, and now they're looking to the future. The 3DS, the writing's on the wall, it's on its way out, it's 6 years old, and it seems like Nintendo has moved on to the Switch for the most part. I mean, let's face it, the 3DS, while it is getting some games, these are like end-of-life games, really. This is the last Pokemon game coming up that'll be on it. Metroid made its way to it, thankfully, but that's probably going to be it for the 3DS. I doubt we'd see a 3DS at all next E3, and honestly, I'm a little surprised we saw as many games we did this year. So Capcom knows they have to look forward, and where can they go? Well, they can go to the Switch, which has a pretty small user base, let's face it, or they can really just unleash the potential of Monster Hunter and put it on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC without discriminating against any system other than, I guess some people are saying the Switch, but they're still making Monster Hunter for the Switch, so really they're not. And this is going to be the largest install base cumulatively that they've ever put a game out for with the Monster Hunter tag on it. This is it. I mean, PC gamers alone make up probably more than they've ever seen for like a 3DS release. And then you also throw in the over 60 million PS4 users, about the 30 million Xbox. I mean, you can do the math. There's a lot of potential here for Monster Hunter, and it shows with how much time they have put into this, guys. People are going to be mad, but realistically, why? Go enjoy Monster Hunter on the PC, on the PS4, on the Xbox. Well, don't limit yourself to one. This is why I tell people, don't limit yourself to one system if you can help it. You know, why purposely limit yourself to one system when a game can flip-flop unless it's first party, really at any time? And Capcom has shown they have no loyalty to any one company. Do you think if Microsoft walked in and said, hey, we'll pay you a little more to fund Street Fighter V, do you think they'd be like, nah, we like Sony? No, they're going to say, oh, cool, we'll get that green X logo on there right away, let's do it. That's the way it is, guys, with these companies. And really, the Monster Hunter World looks good. It's not a spin-off. They said it's technically not an open world. There's no loading times. It looks good. I would go enjoy it. It's out early 2018, or wait for reviews and check it out. I'm fairly excited. I'll probably get it on the PC because a couple people I know have PCs mostly. They don't have PS4s or Xbox Ones, so I'll get it on the PC unless I have it sent to me on the PS4 or something. And, you know, it'll be fun. We'll enjoy Monster Hunter. Oh, and sticking with Monster Hunter real quick, there was some really interesting news that GameSpot put out that says Capcom has no plans to, like, ever localize Monster Hunter Double Cross for the Switch. And that's not true. It came out again. Of course, they update. Really what they said during that in the translation, it says they have no plans at this time. Those are important words because there are plenty of times when they will probably announce a Monster Hunter localization. Let's be completely honest here, guys. They won't announce it now because it's not even out in Japan yet. They'll probably localize it at the beginning of next year or mid next year after they get this Monster Hunter World situation all taken care of, because that's going to be their biggest moneymaker is that game. So they want to get that out, smoothed out, any updates they get launched, and then they'll move on to Monster Hunter Double Cross localization. It makes no sense not to, so realistically, guys, expect it. Just maybe a year or so we'll see it. And guys, the last bit of news comes from Beyond Good and Evil 2, actually. You know how we talked about there's this interesting rumor that's been going around for a long time that's about Beyond Good and Evil 2. I mean, this is dating back to like at the beginning of the year, maybe even last year, when these rumors and these leaks came out about games going to the Switch. And this interesting one that kept popping up was an exclusivity clause for the Switch for like a year, where it would get Beyond Good and Evil 2 all to itself for a full year before it goes to other consoles. And that kind of caught a lot of people off guard that a game like that game that would probably look to expand heavily to all the consoles would stay on one system. And really, a lot of people were figuring, oh, maybe Nintendo helped fund this game because, I mean, let's face it, they've been trying to get this game created for a long time. They said something like 14 years or something. And you know what? It's interesting, but it looks like currently, if you go on their site, you cannot sign up for a Switch version of their what is essentially their beta test program, their updates. It lists Xbox One, PS4, and PC. So people started to get really worried. Sites started like posting that, oh no, Switch dreams are squashed completely. But Michael Ansel came out and said this: today there are no exclusive things. It is very open. We have no decision. We make it so it can run on any platforms. In fact, they've said that there are no plans right now for which platform it's actually going to, and they haven't said anything about it being exclusive. They say right now it is completely open. In fact, they did come out and say that that listing on the website for Ubisoft where you sign up for their space program, that's a bug right now. I assume they'll probably slap the Switch system on there too. That more than likely, to be honest with you guys, is to see where the interest is, right? Because if more people are checking one box than another, guess what? They're going to go with that, or they'll at least consider it in developing it for that system. So if a bunch of people sign up for the Switch, and then some people sign up for the Xbox, then a bunch of people sign up for PS4, they'll probably say, okay, it's going to the Switch, going to the PS4, and then we'll also support the Xbox, just because if you're developing the PS4, you'll probably develop for the Xbox as well. But this does not exclude the Switch at all. This just tells me that it's not exclusive. I mean, it was a weird thought in the first place to see a game like that go exclusive to the Switch, unless Nintendo really did write a check. Doesn't look to be the case. It looks like that game is going to be multi-platform. Now the question is it going to the Switch at all? So we'll have to keep an eye on this and see if we get any announcement from the team on if this is going to the Switch, but I will let you guys know right away if it does. So make sure you're following me on Twitter, because I'm sure I will put out tweets about that as soon as it happens. And that's it for News Wave today, guys. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think about anything we talked about today, whether it is that Monster Hunter World game, or maybe you really want that Double Cross being localized in some way, shape, or form. Maybe you are annoyed that Capcom seems to be focusing away from Nintendo right now. I think it is a good business decision, but maybe you're frustrated as a fan of Nintendo to see Monster Hunter, maybe courting some other systems and companies, because that was Nintendo's strong suit for a little while now, was having Monster Hunter in their back pocket. But keep in mind, with the PSP, that was Sony's strong suit, was having that in their back pocket, and we saw how fast that switched. Let me know what you think, guys, about the possibility of Xbox Live and Switch. Maybe that could work together someday in the distant future. I don't know. It doesn't seem like Microsoft's strong suit is consoles right now. It seems like their strong suit is their Xbox Live service and their ability to make some first-party games. They definitely have the racing genre on lockdown with Forza, but who knows where this goes from here. It does seem interesting, though, that Nintendo and Microsoft seem to be working together pretty well, whereas Sony just doesn't want any part of it. That's it for now, guys. I will see you next time.